Hey, it's Hunt. You found Hunt on Saints. We're talking black and gold football. Do us a favor. Hit the like button, share your comments below, and hit that subscription button so you can get all of our content. Enjoy. So the Saints and Falcons will play at noon on Sunday in the Dome, and their fate lies in the hands of the Carolina Panthers, which is not a very comfortable place to be because the Panthers stink on ice. However, sometimes the Bucs show up and they're atrocious. And if the Bucs show up and they're atrocious on Sunday, the winner of Saints and Falcons will win the atrocious NFC South. But we'll talk about it because that's where we are at this point. The Saints and Falcons have both been wildly inconsistent all year. The Falcons have played musical chairs at quarterback. The Saints have played musical chairs with whether or not they're going to show up, especially in first half. But the Bucs have done the same thing, and that's why they're all in this situation. I'm curious how the Saints game day team will handle the score of the Buccaneers and the Panthers. I would suggest if it's 17-0 Panthers in the second quarter, you run that thing on a loop in the Superdome and get everybody fired up. If Bryce Young comes out and throws a pick six and all of a sudden it's 21-0 Tampa, maybe you just pull that one off the rotating scoreboard. I think that's probably how things will go. The Saints and Falcons have to worry about themselves at this point. And my concern in this game for New Orleans is rushing defense. It's been really, really bad a lot this year. And that's a significant problem against an Atlanta team that really wants to run the ball. Bijan Robinson has had a couple of 100-yard games this year. Tyler Algier has been very good running the ball, and the Saints' defense has been bad. They've allowed more than 130 rushing yards in 4 of their last 6 games. And back in November when they played Atlanta, the Falcons ran for 228 yards. In fact, Atlanta has run for 200 or more yards the last 3 times they've played the Saints. And if all you're asking, whoever it is at quarterback for the Falcons, they've switched it every week for the last month to just turn around and hand it off to these 3 guys, Patterson, Robinson, Algiers. Well, that's pretty easy Sunday, pretty easy day at the office. They've got to find somehow, some way to slow that down. If you force Taylor Heineke to beat you throwing, you at least give the strength of your defense a chance to win you the game against a very, very mediocre NFL quarterback. Would you rather Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier hammering away against Nathan Shepard, Colin Saunders, Brian Brzee and company? Would you rather go down that way, or would you rather go down with Taylor Heineke throwing it on Paulson Adebo, throwing it on Alante Taylor, throwing it on the group that's been pretty good all year and especially opportunistic when it comes to turnovers? They got Baker Mayfield twice last week. That's where I am in terms of the Saints defense. You find a way, whether it's numbers, scheme, willpower, home crowd, I don't care. Don't let them run for 200 yards. If Atlanta runs for 200 yards on Sunday, they're going to win. And that's the biggest statistic on that side. The Saints offense, while not spectacular, I'm not going to mistake them for the greatest show on turf Rams. They've been efficient the last few weeks. Not against great teams, we know. And the Falcons defense has been pretty good. I saw a stat, I don't know what number backs it up, but they've got a lot of numbers these days. They ranked the units in the NFL, every offense and every defense, not special teams, but every offense and every defense. And they put them all into one list in terms of their efficiency. The Falcons defense was in the top 10 in terms of units in the NFL. And they did a good job against the Saints, especially early in Atlanta. But the Saints have kind of fortified things up front. I'd love to have all pro Ramchick back, but that's not in the cards. He's on IR. But Pete's done okay, and they've held the wall for Derek Carr well enough. And Carr has been pretty good, and they've been better in the red zone than they were in that disastrous run that was basically all of October and November, half of November. But they've gotten a little bit better. And so maybe there's a rhythm developing there. AK probably not going to play. Go to Jamal Williams. Let's see if Kendre Miller can get involved. Probably as a third down guy. but Olave seems healthy and Shaheed's back and rolling. And I'd love to see Juwan Johnson stay involved. He was so good in Tampa and can be a really good weapon for you in the passing game. I think, and I've been projecting very poor environments in the Dome really since the Jacksonville debacle. That was your chance on a Thursday night. City's fired up. Get in the Dome. All the air came out of the balloon. And it really hasn't been that great since. But I think they'll show up on Sunday. For those of you that live in the Baton Rouge market and think, yeah, the Saints don't like the Falcons, go to New Orleans. They really don't like the Falcons. And the winner of this game could go to the playoffs. The Saints fans, while they can still, tote their Super Bowl ring and 28-3 and all that, not a real pleasant thing to lose to the Falcons and all of a sudden the Bucs throw up on themselves and they go to the playoffs and you sit at home. They got quarterback musical chairs over there. That's embarrassing. I think it'll be in good environment early, and then depending on as people refresh their phone feeds and how things are going with Tampa and Carolina, that'll maybe dictate how the environment is. This is not a place we wanted the Saints to be. If you said it's totally unexpected, I wouldn't quite believe you unless you've got real black and gold glasses on. We knew all along this was probably headed for somewhere 8, 9, or 10 wins. 10 wins, you felt that's probably going to win the South. 9 wins, well, you're going to have to see, and that's where you are. And 8 wins is probably going to come up one short. And, while we didn't want it to be that way, you followed the winding road, and here we are. So, Mario, I've kind of laid this out. You'll be in the Dome on Sunday. Do you disagree with anything that I've laid out here?
No. I mean, I think it's a little disappointing that you still couldn't take advantage of the schedule you had. Yes. I mean, so many opportunities. You think back to the game in Green Bay where you had a 17-0 lead. Just get one of those and you're in really good shape this weekend. But, hey, man, it's one last game of the season. I said on OTB this morning, I'm looking for the young players to perform well. You mentioned Alontae Taylor got benched. I thought responded really well. Isaac Yiadom, the other cornerback, has been great since Marshawn has gone down. We'll see about Kendre Miller. It sucks he hasn't been able to get on the field all week. But I want to see what guys can still be part of the next iteration of the Saints as they try to get over the Sean Payton era because they're not over it just yet.
They're not. And as I've said, I think that the next Saints team that really, truly we feel is a contender in the NFC is not going to feature Ryan Ramczyk or Michael Thomas or Demario Davis or Cam Jordan and really Alvin Kamara at this point. I would suggest that wouldn't be the case at his age in that position. So here we are, and it's an opportunity for the Saints to try to get a win. I'm going to pick the Saints to win this week. I've got the Saints winning this one at 24-14. I'm going to suggest that the defense will show up and that Taylor Heineke won't get going. Of course, he doesn't have to if they turn around and hand the football off and just hammer away at a poor Saints front 4. I would not say front 7 because I'm not going to loop Demario Davis into that group just yet. But I think front 4, it's safe to say, has not been awesome. That will be the game plan for this Falcons team. It's whether or not the Saints can stand up to it or whether or not they're going to let the Falcons run for 200 for the 4th straight time against New Orleans. I'm betting against that. I'm not quite going to go out on a limb and pick Carolina to win a football game this week, so I think the Saints show up in maybe the worst place you can be, which is the first team out of the playoffs in your division, so you don't get the top 7 draft pick and you don't get a chance to compete for a Super Bowl. But it feels like that's where the Saints are ticketed. Hey, it's on. Thanks for watching Hunt on Saints. Before you leave, help us out a little bit. Hit that like button, leave your comments in the section below, and hit that subscribe button so you get all our content right here from Hunt on Saints. We'll see you next time.